I'm Adrian.
Hi, I'm Keanu Flores.
And I'm Avi.
And I'm Alyssa.
And I'm Bella.
And I'm Lena Holman. Welcome to the first episode of NHCM News. We'd like to start this episode with an update on what the New Haven climate movement is up to. Recently, the Board of Alders passed $50,000 to be put towards climate efforts. While we don't know the exact path that this money will take, we can assure you that it will not go to waste. Some other projects we are working on is the Electric Future Committee. They are working on transitioning New Haven's energy dependency from fossil fuels to electric power. And our amazing Climate Education Committee is working on creating an ordinance or a similar agreement that will mandate all New Haven schools to have climate education in all classrooms. New Haven Climate Movement strives to better our community's awareness of the climate crisis while uplifting student voices to create change in our government. Getting funds from the city shows that local representatives care about the climate crisis. And in addition to this aid, we hope we can continue to work with City Hall to ensure that the climate crisis gets the money and the attention needed. Now I'm going to pass it off to Bella.
Hi, I'm Bella Germain. This portion of the show covers statewide and national news. As many of you already know, these past few weeks have been revolutionary in the Black Lives Matter movement. The nationwide protests have opened up a much larger conversation about systemic racism. Without racial justice, there can be no climate justice. The Green New Deal, which has been in the works since 2003, acknowledges the need for targeted investments in Black and Brown communities subject to environmental racism and chronic disinvestment. As many activists have pointed out, it is necessary to defund the police and instead fund local jobs and invest in communities. This includes green jobs. Many climate scientists have also recently been striking for Black lives. Although climate change disproportionately affects Black and Brown communities, they are largely underrepresented in the green STEM fields. A lack of diversity creates a hostile, non-inclusive environment which sustains the seemingly endless cycle of whitewashed climate science and activism. It's time to commit to eradicating anti-Blackness in academia and STEM. To follow along, look for #ShutDownAcademia, #ShutDownSTEM, and #StrikeForBlackLives on Twitter and Instagram. For our second national story, we're going to head out west. Take it away, Avi.
Hello everybody, my name is Avi, and today we're going to be looking at a really unique climate action story. So usually, when you think about climate initiatives, think East Coast, West Coast, Los Angeles, New York City, liberal, urban environments that are really on the forefront of taking renewable energy and reducing carbon emissions seriously. But today, we'll be looking at a hopeful example from the Midwest. In Missouri, two cities, St. Louis and Kansas City, have taken bold climate initiatives. Now, if you don't know, this is important because Missouri is one of the highest emitting states. And this is because 80% of Missouri's electricity is driven by coal-fired power plants. Well, how is that going to change? What are these climate actions that I was referring to earlier? For one, Kansas City and St. Louis both adopted climate resolutions that state that all municipal operations, that is services by the cities, will be carbon neutral by 2030. Now, that's important, but even more significant is a second resolution, which would make all things in both cities completely carbon neutral by 2040. This is a bold step for two reasons. The first is these two cities are setting a precedent for other Midwestern regions, other Midwestern states and cities and counties and small rural towns to consider the threat of climate change and to reassess their energy needs and sources. The second, all areas of the U.S. can be united. It is not just liberal cities. It is not just East and West Coast hippie towns that are really incentivizing this stuff. Sustainability, in the end, benefits everyone. And that's all for today, folks.
Hey everyone, my name is Alyssa Butwasab and I'm coming at you with some international environmental news. First up is Great Britain and how COVID-19 pandemic has prompted a record coal-free period. Great Britain is approaching 2 months since they generated coal-driven electricity, the longest break since the 1880s. During very troubling times, Great Britain continues to be a leader in promoting green energy as they increase the prominence of solar energy, as Britain reports having the sunniest May on record. The United States is not too far behind, as 2019 data shows. Green power has surpassed coal as the state's primary source of energy. Coming up next is Avi with climate highlights.
Climate change, am I right? Long time no see. We're back at it. This week we'll be taking a look at our weekly
climate highlights.
These are actions worth praise, whether occurring at home, in New Haven, in Connecticut, in the US, or anywhere in the world. This week we'll be starting off with some great news from Old Lyme, Connecticut, where the school board there has passed a zero emissions resolution, promising to switch to renewable energy to power their school infrastructure by 2030, even including transportation and busing. This is important news because it sets a new standard for climate action here in Connecticut. Now we'll be hearing from Adrian Huck, a fantastic activist and contributor here at New Haven Climate Movement. Take it away, Adrian.
Thanks, Avi, and happy graduation to all my fellow 2020 graduates. I'm also an intern with the Urban Resources Initiative, which plants free trees for New Haven residents and businesses. I had the idea for our Graduation Trees campaign, where willing New Haven schools can get a free tree planted on their school grounds to honor the class of 2020 who missed out on a traditional graduation and, of course, the end to our school year. This opportunity is also available to New Haven families to get a free tree planted at your home to honor your graduate. Even if you don't have a graduate at home, URI is happy to celebrate all people with the gift of nature, so you can request your free tree today at yalef.es/tree-request.
Hi, my name is Keanu Flores, and next up we have the Yale Fair Share Coalition. A group of local community organizations have come together to create a petition asking Yale University and Yale New Haven Hospital to pay their fair share in taxes to the city of New Haven. For the petition link, you can contact us on any of our social media at New Haven Climate Movement or check out our Instagram bio for the link. Also, make sure to mark your calendars for June 26th as the CT Climate Crisis Mobilization Action Group is hosting a car caravan around the Department of Energy and Environmental Protection in Hartford, in addition to an online Zoom rally. C3 is a coalition of environmental groups in CT striving for a shift from fossil fuel energy to renewable power, while cutting carbon emissions to zero by 2030, all while recognizing the intersection between climate change, racial justice, and economic needs. In this rally, multiple organizations are coming together to protest gas extraction in CT, while emphasizing on why fracking gas is negatively impacting the environment and racial justice. Again, the virtual rally and car caravan is on June 26th at 3 p.m. For more information, you can visit Connecticut Climate Crisis Mobilization on Facebook. Now back to Adrian.
Next, New Haven Climate Movement recently endorsed the New Haven Peace Commission's referendum. A referendum is when the public is asked to vote on a particular proposal through placing a question on the ballot for people to agree or disagree with. The New Haven Peace Commission, which advocates for community and world peace, hopes to ask on the November ballot in New Haven, quote, "Shall Congress prepare for a climate and health crisis by transferring funds from the military budget to cities for human needs, jobs, and an environmentally sustainable economy?" End quote. Many votes of yes would send the message that New Haven does not want their taxes continuing to go to our bloated federal military budget and instead put the money towards a green and sustainable economy and towards our community. This referendum has been passed in the Health and Human Services Committee of the Board of Alders, but we still need your help to pass it to the full board level. Sign the petition at the link in our bio and email your alder to support this. Lastly, the defenders of the Amazon need our help. The Amazon rainforest indigenous community is being threatened greatly by COVID-19. The loss of these people is a loss to global biodiversity as a whole. You can donate to their relief fund at sosamazonia.fund/en.
And that's a wrap for today. Make sure to follow us on social media at New Haven Climate Movement on Instagram and Facebook, and check out our website, newhavenclimatemovement.org. Thank you so much for watching, and from all of us here at New Haven Climate Movement, stay safe, stay healthy, and keep on fighting.